Hi everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Today I'm doing my top 10 challenge response to Allan's Friday challenge with regards to Jim Shooter's books. Jim Shooter's death is a big loss to the comic book community. At the same time, we do get to keep what he's given us. It's an amazing story that he started at age 13 with writing comic books, and he managed to make a lifetime out of it. All the way from starting at DC Comics at 13 to working through DC through to the mid-70s and moving on to Marvel, becoming the editor-in-chief and seeing a great change in the books there. That period that he was editor-in-chief from about 1978 to 1985, I want to say, that era was a huge time for Marvel. Jim Shooter invented the big event with the Contest of Champions, but also with the Secret Wars, which he wrote. I don't know what else I can say about the gentleman. I've had the honor of meeting him. I've had the pleasure of reading a lot of stuff he's written over the years. He's even done the odd pencils. In fact, some of the earliest works he did for DC, he did some sketches that Curt Swan followed. Curt Swan thought very highly of Jim Shooter. He thought though they never met face to face, they had a correspondence that went on for a while, and I've seen the letters that Jim Shooter had received from Curt Swan in his little portfolio book. I've also seen them in the Curt Swan biography I have from Zemo is his last name. I can't remember the first name. It's Curt Swan, A Life in Comics, but you get that point. Anyway, so today are my top 10, what I like, my top 10 Jim Shooter covers. And there is nothing like starting with the first. This is Adventure Comics 346. This is the first ever book Jim Shooter did for comic books. Not only did it the 13-year-old write comics, he created 4 new characters: Karate Kid, Princess Projectra, Pharaoh Lad, and Nemesis Kid, that were used for years and years and years, and in 2 cases are still used today, on and off. In fact, one of them's movies named after. How many people can say that about their characters? Yes, if you watch The Karate Kid, there is a tribute to DC Comics. Thank you for letting us use the name. So this is 346. My next one is the very next one. This is issue 347. And this is the second part to that story. And it says here, the Traitor's triumph. It turns out that the Traitor is Nemesis Kid. Spoiler alert for a 60-year-old comic. So, but you can see this great Curt Swan cover on both of them. Although Swan didn't do the interiors. Swan was not his first artist. And off the top of my head, I can't remember who did the interiors. But anyway, here we go. There it is, Karate Kid wrecking the machine. Number 3, so to speak, that I'm going to show is Adventure Comics 353, where he kills off one of those characters he created in Pharaoh Lad. Pharaoh Lad dies in this issue, and it's a great story about Pharaoh Lad. Pharaoh Lad ended up the way he did. Jim Shooter wanted to create a black character and was told no. So he created Pharaoh Lad with a mask and decided then he was going to kill him off, since he couldn't get his way with the character. So this is Adventure Comics 353. I would also like to note that Jim Shooter created the Fatal Five as a result of his writing, because they made their debut in the issue before, which he also wrote. One of the things that I can't get over is how, when Jim Shooter was so young, how he had made so many influential characters. Jim Shooter also created the Parasite. This is Action Comics 340 with Kurt Swan. I am so amazed. This, at the time that he created this, he would have been 14. And it's amazing the success he had early. Next up is another. Now, Shooter did not do a lot of books for Action Comics. There was 340, and here is 348, where he did the concept of Clark Kent's secret agent. So he was not only, Superman by day, but he was a spy at night. And you know what? This is another cool concept, again, by a teenage boy. Still a teenager. He did the first Superman Flash race in Superman 199. I just can't get over how many major books this man has done. And another book from that again, he didn't do a lot of Superman books either. He did about 5 in the Silver Age, but here's the end of the Silver Age, Superman 220, which is another Flash crossover. Only this time, Superman and Flash have had their minds changed, so Superman's in Flash's body and vice versa. And now I'm realizing here, I hadn't put on my light. Let's do so. Ta-da! Probably not going to make much of a difference. There's lots of sunlight today. The second, I've got 3 more books. This one is really cool. This is an imaginary story in World's Finest 172. I mean, they all are, right? But this is, what if Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne were both adopted by the Kents? And this is by far another one of those World Finest stories in that 150 to 175 era that were just fantastic. This one is Jim Shooter's. And it's cool because in the end, Batman joins the Legion of Superheroes. This one here is my only Marvel one for the list. I'm not a big... I did go down through the Shooter's Marvel books, and literally I have just this one. This is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 10 with the pretty cool Doctor Doom cover. Now, of course, everybody knows Shooter, yet another big deal. Shooter wrote this series. And it also includes issue number 8 of the new Spider-Man suit origin story. But this is number 10. It's a very nice one. And the reason I did the Marvel one is because this one I'm going back and it's last. This is Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes number 209, which Jim Shooter's first book back on the Legion after a 6-year hiatus. Not only did I get this signed by Mike Grell, but I got this signed by Jim Shooter. Right there. So I thought that this, of course, would be my number one choice because it may not be his best cover nor his best story, but is the one that I got him to sign. And I did get him to sign it because I had Mike Grell sign it before. So thought it'd be cool to have one by both writer and artist. So there you have it. Jim Shooter, my 10 covers. I could have done another 15 easily because he wrote every Adventure Comics story for the Legion between 358 and 380. and that would have been, 20 more books right there that I have from DC. I also have the other 7 that he wrote during that 1970s run of the Legion, and I have a few of the other Superman ones popped in and out that he did. But these are the ones that I chose to show because for a Jim Shooter collection, some of those are major books. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe below. I want you to tell me what Jim Shooter books you have that you like, what Jim Shooter books you didn't like. Did you like the man? Did you not like the man? I want to know everything. I like to know everything. But also, I want you to join the Friday Challenge. Just hashtag Friday Comic Challenge. You can tag Allan in the video, and he'll watch it, and I'll get to see it too. I like watching your videos of these top 10 types. Thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.